Raila Odinga has thrown this country into very deep tension and anxiety after coming out with chilling revelations that William Samoei Ruto is planning to eliminate him. Raila claims that some loyal intelligence forces from the government revealed to him that William Ruto has formed a special killer squad to eliminate him and the other Azimio leaders, and by extension those will take place in Wednesday's protests. This is what is reported. Raila claims new armed unit formed to muzzle Azimio protests. Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga on Saturday, July 15th claimed that President William Ruto-led regime has formed a new well-trained killer squad to harm opposition leaders. Vowing to continue with the protest as planned, the former Prime Minister stated that a gang under the name Operation Support Unit was on the loose and will be used to commit excesses against both Azimio leaders and their supporters during the next week's planned protest. This last one says, Raila also revealed that he had received death threats but will not be intimidated into calling off the protest scheduled to take place for 3 consecutive days beginning Wednesday. If you ask me, I'm not surprised by William Ruto's attempt to think that eliminating Raila Odinga will stop the demonstrations. Kindly subscribe to our channel if you're watching us for the first time. Click the notification bell and like our videos. To all those who support our channel, I want to say thank you. Continue supporting us. Ladies and gentlemen, William Samoei Ruto has been cornered, and I've always told you this. He has been cornered, and the only way to disentangle himself could be just 2 ways. One, if Raila decides to retreat the way he has always done. Many a times when Raila corners Ruto, and when he has really gotten grip of him, he loses, and for some reasons that I always call maybe being a statesman, he decides to retreat. That is the only way. The other way is if William Ruto decides to relinquish that office, something that is unthinkable, and I don't think he can do that. But William Ruto is a co-author of his own misfortune, because after the last elections, he really inherited power peacefully, unlike his predecessors. When you look at 2017, 2007, there were chaos when the late president Mwai Kibaki rigged elections and people had to go to the streets. Bloodshed was there and IDPs. In 2017, in the second term of Uhuru Kenyatta, there were chaos because Kenyans really felt that Ruto and Uhuru had rigged elections, and Maraga almost confirmed the same thing. But William Ruto, because of the mere fact that Azimio supporters thought that they had the deep state, they decided to wait till the last minute, and they never went to the streets. In fact, there was a general feeling that they had moved on, and they said, it's okay, even though we don't agree with the IEBC declaration, we don't agree with the Supreme Court ruling, but we want to move on. We don't want Kenya to burn. But William Samoei Ruto misinterpreted that and thought that Raila was finished, because during his campaigns he had made it clear that he wanted to take Raila to Bondo. In fact, he used to say that I will place Raila in a wheelbarrow and I will take him to Bondo. Those statements did not aggle well with Raila Odinga, and Raila was out to show him that you can never easily politically annihilate him. To think that if you eliminate Raila Odinga, people will not go to the streets is a fallacy. In fact, it is what I call, in its not very words, if I want to quote William Ruto, playing with our collective intelligence. Why am I saying this? This administration cannot tell us that Raila is going to the streets for self-aggrandizement. There are two kinds of people who are on the streets today. One, there are people who believe that their votes were stolen and they want William Ruto out of that seat so that Raila can take over. Honestly speaking, it's not very easy. The other group that is more dangerous are the groups who don't care who won the election, but they're on the streets because the cost of living is just too high. They are on the streets because they are lamenting and protesting against William Ruto's unpopular taxes, punitive taxes, and the Finance Bill 2023. I believe that William Ruto is not wise enough. And those who are advising William Ruto should give him a better advice. If William Ruto thought that Raila was finished, he should have gone back to the people and implemented all the promises that he gave them. The hustlers are more hungry and angry than any other person in Kenya because they know very well that they were used as a ladder. There were several promises. Within 100 days, the cost of living was going to come down. The cost of unga was going to come down. The cost of education. But you see, as we speak, William Ruto decided to abandon all the subsidies that Uhuru had placed, even to cushion on the very high cost of living that he's talking about. People tended to have decided to give him time. But the signs and symptoms, the writings on the wall, are really indications that we are headed for the worst. Because now the very, very basic commodities that he was talking about are really skyrocketing. To make it worse, I mean, we don't see a commitment from this government. All we see are blame games. You mean, I still don't understand why people like our deputy president and the entire Kenya Kwanza administration has not realized that Uhuru Kenyatta is no longer in power. He is gone. We know that he made some few mistakes here and there, but we can't continue blaming him because we lose focus. This is what we see. Instead of sitting down with the think tanks to ensure that they put things in place, we hear about corruption, subsidies stopped, blame game. There is no plan that William Ruto talked about. And this is the reason why people are on the streets. Today, which one is easier? Eliminating Raila and thinking that it will be business as usual, or going down, sit down, re-strategize, and see what you can do better? Because let me tell you, it has been done before. This government does not have a plan. Let's look, for example, they signed a deal, I think, with Dubai, and they imported some oil. A few months later, in the neighborhood in Tanzania and Uganda, the prices of oil have gone down. And oil dealers are now running away from Kenya and they're going to buy oil from the neighborhood. What does this tell you? Our plan and priority is wrong. They thought that the cost of living can only be brought down by giving subsidized fertilizers. I understand that in some places it was so dry that even the fertilizers did not help. Their plan for the hustler was just to give the hustler funds, and that was all. The plans are not working. The cost of electricity is high. The cost of education is so high. And this is the reason why people are on the streets. People are not on the streets because of Raila Amolo Odinga. How I wish that they understood this. The people are on the streets because their stomachs are empty. Let me tell you, if you eliminate Raila Odinga today, will that give people food that they are yearning to get? What makes you think that Martha Karua cannot champion the cause if you eliminate Raila? What makes you think that Kalonzo Musyoka cannot do it? Eugene Wamalwa, Wajakoya. Are you telling us that you will eliminate all of them? And why do you think that when you eliminate Raila Odinga, then it will be business as usual? There is a general feeling within the Kenya Kwanza team that Raila should be eliminated. Let me tell you this. This is unsolicited advice from me. Arrest Raila before you kill him. Just do a test. Because there is this general feeling. I've heard it from the Kenya Kwanza bloggers. I've heard it from the Kenya Kwanza adherents. The leaders like Cheregai, Kimani Chungwa, our deputy president. I have heard them say that nothing will happen even if you arrest Raila Odinga. I don't know whether the government intelligence is working, or are they ignoring what they're being told. Let us do this, ladies and gentlemen. Let them arrest him before they kill him, because arresting him will give them a taste of what will happen if he's killed. Killing a human being is inhuman. Remember, names have been sent to the International Criminal Court, and there are people who are being monitored. I want you to write this date down. Some people want to take this country to the drains, to the dogs. Some people want Kenya to burn. They want to see Kenya in turmoil, but they will not go scot-free. I'm telling you. There is freedom of association and picketing, as long as it is peaceful in accordance with the Constitution. Someone wants to trump those freedoms. William Ruto must understand why people are going on the streets. Even thinking of eliminating Raila is unnecessary. They should be thinking that energy and time spent to sit down and plan on how to arrange for to form a killer squad can be channeled into looking into what can be done about this bill, what can be done about the taxes, what can be done about corruption. And if it is so difficult, if the Kenya Kwanza team was never ready to lead, it is so easy. Why can't they step aside and give Raila a chance so that we see what Raila has to offer? Ladies and gentlemen, one life lost are just lives too many. But let me tell you, wacha tusidanganyane. Huwezi uwa Raila na vitu viendelee kama kawaida. That is my